Ladies and gentlemen, I really think it's almost that time. Like, yeah, we cover Switch leaks and rumors every single week, right? But when this information is coming out daily, and sometimes multiple times a day, that's when you really need to start paying attention. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. The Switch 2, that implies the Switch number 2, or the Switch 2 times? We have a bunch of massive leaks to get into today, all Switch 2 related, and I really think a big announcement is right around the corner. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, it would truly mean the world to me, and let's just go and get right into the video. So I think in the past, let's just say 30 days, I have probably covered a total of like 15 or 20 Switch 2 leaks, and I know, maybe it's a little tiring for you, a little redundant and repetitive, but for me this is some of the most exciting things I've ever been a part of. I didn't have a YouTube channel when the Switch first came out or was coming out, so I didn't really feel like I was a part of the community. Now, like, I get to report on the news, I play my Switch every day, and I feel like we're all in this together, and it really is so exciting to be a part of all this. So every single time a leak or rumor comes out, I like covering it, one, because I think it's just interesting, but two, I think it's going to be really cool to look back on all the leaks and rumors, and when we actually compare all the information, we'll see which sources were actually credible. So today is no different. We have 4 Switch 2 leaks I think to cover. All of them are very interesting, and who knows, maybe all of them could actually play out. So the first bit of information we have is the actual patent, and you guys know I cover patents all the time on here. I actually looked them up myself. But this is coming from Nash Weedle, and in my opinion, he's a very credible leaker, but this isn't a leak because it's an actual patent from Nintendo. And essentially what it's showing is this is the mechanism or the housing for the actual Joy-Con, and when we translate it, it says Nintendo has Nintendo has patented the lever with a second position. Tilt the lever further from the state where the tilt is physically restricted. So it's saying like, the thing can only go this far, but you can actually tilt it a little bit further than that. It elastically deforms, that's crazy, to further tilt the lever when a force is applied for further tilting. I find this so weird because we're essentially just talking about what the future Joy-Cons will be, but it almost sounds like something out of science fiction. It elastically deforms to further tilt. Maybe multiple things will come from this. One, Joy-Cons will just have a further range of motion, but maybe this will stop Joy-Con drift altogether. But we're not going to dwell on this too much because we have a lot more to get into. Limited Run Game CEO visited Nintendo of America yesterday. There are lots of reports of developers visiting Nintendo of America HQ yesterday, possibly for something Switch 2 related. So they're talking about Limited Run, which if you don't know what Limited Run is, they essentially just do what their name does. They make a limited run of games. These days, more and more, some games are only releasing with a digital version. But if you're like me, you like physical games, Limited Run makes that possible. It's Limited Run and I think Super Rare, I think might be the name of the other one. But yeah, they just make physical copies of digital games. If they're visiting Nintendo for the Switch 2, I find it a little strange because I can't think of a real reason why they would be visiting Nintendo for the Switch 2. So in the comments below, let me know what you think about this because I really don't have an opinion on this either which way. I can't think of why they would be doing this. But ladies and gentlemen, guess what? There is more. And then more later in the video as well. The Switch successor could receive Battlefield games. As we already know, the current Switch does not have any game from the Battlefield franchise, and I can't remember any Nintendo console that received any Battlefield games. That's probably about to change. Whenever you think of franchises that never made an appearance on the Switch but you wanted them to, like Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty and stuff like that, Battlefield is one that legit has never came to mind. Zampella, executive director of Respawn Entertainment, is interested in the Switch successor targeting the Battlefield franchise. They also praise the relationship with Nintendo but does not comment on something unannounced for now. In addition to emphasizing the developer wants to return to basic approach to the shooter, which is good. Battlefield used to be really good. If they're going back to the old Battlefield style, that would make me pretty excited. Zampella briefly commented on the recently announced PlayStation 5 Pro and how it has its eye on the successor to the Nintendo Switch. I mean, since the Switch 2 hasn't been announced and doesn't exist, I can't comment on that. But I would definitely say that Nintendo, along with Microsoft and Sony, are great partners for us. They're important to us about our business at EA, at Respawn, and we'd love to see that. We don't have anything to announce, but is there a possibility? Of course. We love them as partners, they've been great to us, I love the Switch. It's important to remember that EA has a history of announcing partnerships with Nintendo, but doing absolutely nothing related to Battlefield. We've seen this repeat itself on both Wii U and Nintendo Switch. So yes, Battlefield would be really cool coming to the Switch 2 because that would mean the Switch 2 can play games like Battlefield, and that would be a win for everybody. Now does this mean future Battlefield games as well? Well, I'm not so sure about that. But Battlefield games previous, maybe from like the Xbox 360 era and Xbox One era, sure, that would be perfectly fine. But what I would like even more than Battlefield, and this is just a personal preference, games I would love to see from EA on the Switch too. I like playing Madden. I would love to see Madden on the Switch too, but the number one game I would love to see is Skate 3. I think it's the game that I've bought on the most consoles. I had it on the Xbox 360, PS3, Xbox One, Xbox Series S. I don't think PS4, maybe not, I can't remember. I would buy it in a heartbeat for the Switch too. So yeah, Battlefield would be cool, but come on man, let me get some Skate 3. I am truly fiending for Skate 3 on the Switch too. And now let's get into the last bit of news, which is possibly the biggest piece of information we have today. Nintendo Direct announcement soon. This is coming from Andy Robinson. Since the Switch launch, Nintendo has held a Nintendo Direct every September without fail, and usually around now. Just saying. And then Christopher Drink shows eye emojis. And folks, they are not lying. I think I looked at a graph or a chart or something, and for the past 8 years, there's been a Direct in September. And we could only assume that there was going to be a Direct in September. We had an indie showcase and I think a partner showcase mixed at the end of August. So I actually think we're still getting a traditional Nintendo Direct because we still have a couple months coming up where we don't really know what's going on. And I think Nintendo needs to map out, I guess, the rest of the Nintendo Switch's life. And I think at the end of that Nintendo Direct, they will show a date on the screen. And that would probably say something for October. A lot of people are thinking the Switch 2 gets revealed in the next week or two. And while that would be amazing, don't get me wrong, I think we get a Nintendo Direct, a date pops up on the screen, and then I'm assuming we get an October reveal, and then maybe the end of December, like right after Christmas, right after they knock out all the holiday sales, pre-orders will then go live, and probably a March release. I mean, it's actually all starting to line up now, and that's pretty crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you're thinking about all of this. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. If you made it to this part of the video, follow me on Twitter or Instagram. That would be cool. Hit a like and subscribe. That would be coolier. I would really appreciate it. And you guys know me. I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace out.